This month's RV Newscast will cover the latest RV and travel data news. June 2025 RV production numbers are out, and we'll cover the latest travel data so you can better gauge if it's time to buy, sell, or hold an RV. Later in the news, we'll do a general RV news roundup, including results from a large industry player. I'm John Marucci. Let's get started with the news. On July 24, 2025, the RVIA posted the latest RV wholesale shipment data for June 2025. Production increased compared to the prior year, with 29,332 total RVs shipped in June, up over 4,000 or almost 16% year over year. June 2025 beat 2023 and 2024 June shipments, but was below all other recent years, including 2016. Travel trailer shipments increased year over year, with 20,730 units shipped in June 2025, compared to 18,202 a year ago, representing an increase of 2,528 units, or nearly 14%. Motorhome shipments, which include Class A, B, and C motorhomes, were higher than in June 2024, with 2,800 units shipped, an increase of just over 500 units, or 22.4% year over year. While beating June 2024, motorhome shipments were still the second lowest on record, going back to 2016. As seen in the chart, the motorhome segment has experienced a significant slowdown in recent years. RVs for sale on RVTradercom have decreased again since last month, with 124,598 new RVs listed as of July 30th, 2025. This is down from 132,277, or 7,679 units, or 5.8% from a month ago, and up 11,488 units, or 10.1% from a year ago. The number of used units has increased again in the past month to a record 78,342 used RVs for sale as of July 30th. This is up by 1,788 units, or 2.7%, compared to about a month ago, and up by 11,053 units, or 16.4%, compared to a year ago. Almost every week, a new record is set for the number of used RVs for sale. It seems evident that there is an increase in the unloading of used units this camping season. I believe we're continuing to see the results of mass inoculation of RVing by pandemic buyers. Our model year chart shows new model volumes for 2022 through 2026 since May of 2023. As dealers unload the older units, 2022 models, as indicated by the blue line, have decreased from 39,100 to 588 units, a decrease of 126 since last month. The orange line shows a decrease in 2023 models from 93,797 to 1,407 since late June 2023, a decrease of 437 since last month. Meanwhile, the red line shows 2024 models going from 8,238 in late June 2023, ramping up in the spring of 2024, and now at 8,304, down 3,553 units since last month. It appears that the significant clearance of 2024 units is still ongoing, as 2026 models are arriving at dealer lots. 2025 units, as shown by the teal line, have ramped up and are now beginning to drop off quickly. There are currently 80,779 2025 units for sale, decreasing by about 18,000 in the past month. This is a huge increase in the sales of 2025 models over the past month, as dealers seem to be discounting to clear the prior year's models. 2026 models for sale have seen a large increase since the end of June, with 33,447 units for sale, up by over 14,000 units. Looking at the model year data by the number of weeks on market, we see that 2025's the teal line ramped up much more quickly than 2024's the red line at the same number of weeks on market. Also, the 2024s are falling off slightly faster than the 2023's the orange line. The 2024 model year looks like a historically low production run that ended last summer. 2026 models in the chart data are now at week 22 on market, as represented by the gold line. 2026 models are greatly outpacing 2025 models so far. This is a real concern, as it appears that the industry is overproducing again early on in the model year. Whether they're betting on interest rates to decline or hedging tariff risks, it seems there has been a surge in early production. We'll talk about this more in a moment. As a reminder, many but not all dealers advertise on RVTrader.com to sell inventory. It remains an excellent proxy for overall dealer inventory. You can follow my account on X at John Marucci to receive weekly updates on this data. For the high-end market, inventory levels at Colonial Airstream in Millstone Township, New Jersey, one of the nation's largest Airstream dealers, still indicate a surplus of in-stock units. As of July 30th, Colonial had only 102 new units on the lot for sale, with 11 spoken for. This is down from 109 and 7 spoken for about a month ago. Interestingly, Colonial has continued to hold steady on new orders, not placing any orders for several months now. Its order book has only 6 units on order compared to 40 in late January and 47 in late November. A year ago, Colonial had 23 units on order. This is the lowest total inventory Colonial has carried since we began tracking weekly in October of 2021. It seems evident from the lack of new orders that Colonial is struggling to unload current inventory. The Bureau of Labor Statistics published revised May 2025 manufacturing employment numbers for Elkhart County, Indiana. The current manufacturing employment level was 61,000, equal to the May 2015 level, but significantly below that of 2016 and later years. The BLS is forecasting that manufacturing employment will decline slightly in June 2025. Gas prices have generally declined in the past month. According to AAA, the current average nationwide price as of July 30th was $3.14 per gallon for regular unleaded, down 4.5 cents from a month ago, and down about 36 cents from a year ago. An RV trip of 3,000 miles at 10 miles per gallon would cost $942 now versus $1,049 a year ago, a 10.2% decrease. Diesel prices have increased over the past month and currently stand at $3.74 per gallon, up 4.6 cents from a month ago, and down 7.2 cents from a year ago. A similar 3,000-mile trip getting 12 miles per gallon would cost $935 now compared to $953 a year ago, representing a 1.9% decrease. On July 29th, Camping World, the nation's top RV dealer, reported quarterly results. These reports shed light on the health of the industry and its future, as the dealer side of the business tells the story of how RVs are selling versus the number of shipments manufacturers are sending out. If we see an uptick in shipments, but fewer sales, supply will outstrip demand and units will remain unsold. Ultimately, prices have to adjust in order to clear units off the lot. Camping World had a solid quarter in terms of sales. However, there are a few nuances to note that contributed to this success. Total revenue was up by 9.4% over the same quarter in 2024, with an increase in the sales of both new and used RVs. Looking at the actual numbers, Camping World achieved this sales growth generally by lowering prices on new and used units while increasing selling expense and compensation. New units sold for 10% less than a year ago on average during the same spring quarter, while used units sold for about 1% less. The mix of 58% new units sold to 42% used units sold remained relatively steady year over year. Our best take is that lowering pricing incentivized buyers into the market. While we can equate higher sales with lower prices to a point, there appears to be a possible uptick in actual consumer demand emerging. I wouldn't call it a rebound, but I do sense pent-up demand that has been stymied by exorbitant pricing, as well as economic uncertainty that clouded last year's election cycle. I was honestly expecting another poor sales quarter from Camping World, and that did not happen. Yet they did have to concede on pricing and increase selling expenses to get there. On July 8th, the Canadian government announced the rescission of the surtax on U.S.-made motorhomes. Eleanor Ham, president of the RV Dealers Association of Canada, said, quote, "The government of Canada has officially granted remission of the surtaxes on motorhomes imported from the United States under the United States Surtax Order, Motor Vehicles 2025. This is a monumental win that will provide immediate financial relief and stability for dealerships across Canada," unquote. This is a big win in terms of U.S.-based motorhome manufacturers, Canadian RV dealers, and our friends in Canada looking for a motorhome. There was a 25% surtax on these units when imported to Canada. The action allows Canadian RV dealers to file for a refund on units already taxed due to the import surtax. So it should also apply to existing inventory. If you're shopping for a motorhome in Canada, be aware that you should see a price tag of 25% less on US-made motorhomes. If the dealer won't pass these savings on to you, try another dealer and make sure you're armed with this information when negotiating. Elkhart, Indiana, the World Center for RV Manufacturing, is about to get a tighter labor market as Amazon is opening a new distribution warehouse near the city. It will attract up to 1,000 new workers in its semi-automated warehouse, offering an average wage of $19 per hour plus benefits. It's hard to say what this will do to the availability of workers for RV manufacturing, but this is steady work, comes with significant benefits, is less strenuous, and likely safer. I think it will draw many people out of factory work to a more predictable income. We'll see how it shakes out and what it will mean for manufacturing. It is a difficult time this cycle to see where things are heading. With the Camping World sales uptick and lower prices being offered, one would think that a turnaround is happening. Yet sales of higher-end RVs are still way off past year's averages, so any turnaround hasn't yet materialized for the upper market. If interest rates moderate, I think there's pent-up demand, especially in the high-end market. The persistent poor quality build issues still being reported on social media seem to linger, however, and sit like a cloud over the industry. The other anomaly is used RV sales are reaching new highs almost every week. This is obviously crowding out new RV sales and crimping the industry. Okay, that'll do it for this newscast. Please click the like button, remember to subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you haven't already done so. Thanks for watching. This is John Marucci, and so long for now.